Okay, part 7. Here we go. ANESSIX. You'll forgive me if I'm a little tired, because I was actually enjoying a little bit of a nap before I got woken up for this. Definitely tomorrow. I mean, it has to be tomorrow. Like, okay, let me actually... I think I'm being trolled. That's it for today, but no more updates, though, because we're shipping as soon as we get green light on the platforms, which, I mean, pretty much, has to be tomorrow. Waiting to be approved. It's submitted, waiting to be approved, so later tonight. That can't be later tonight, right? It can't actually be. Can it? Okay, let's actually go through it. ANESSIX. Okay, Mistress of Secrets. Ooh. The other Underlord will be joining us as part of the big update. ANESSIX summons Demon Companion to attack our enemies on her behalf. After all, why do the dirty work when you can just command a sidekick to do it for you? So she is kind of a summoner. That said, she's no mere bystander. She also casts healing buff for her crews and curses for her opponents. Interesting, interesting. So she's got like a demon friend, and she's more of like a cursor support even a little bit. Generate type passively with an addition amount for each allied demon on the board. Whoa! So this is a very, very, very direct synergy, basically. This is like kind of the new, like, kind of just like full demon hunter, just like run all demons build. She summons a companion to fight Undersize. So she's very specific. Like, I mean, obviously, maybe it's fine to just run one demon with her, but that's a very, very different from Hobgin. We were looking at Hobgin and we were saying, like, if anything, he's very general. Like, you can run this in anywhere. This is kind of crazy. So you need demons for her to really be good. Potentially. I mean, we don't know exactly. Either way, you're always going to want at least one demon for sure. ANESSIX takes damage equal to a percentage of her max health and provides allied units with healing. So this is an active ability where I mean, who knows exactly how efficient this can be? It's hard to say. We do have some kind of heal. I guess this will work with stuff like the new healer alliance. She's so specific, it's weird. Yeah, it is weird. And then she's got pure pain. ANESSIX targets a random enemy and deals pure damage continuously for a short duration. Okay, so pure damage continuously for a short duration. Obviously, pure damage is good against some stuff like knights, because of course going through knight shields, goes through defensive alliances like scrappies and warriors and elusives. Although, I mean, even just magic damage goes through elusives just fine. Not too much to say about this one. Targets a random enemy and just deals some pure damage. I mean, we don't know exactly like how long it is or how much damage it is. But yeah, I mean, all we can say is it's pure damage. And we can look at like some of the traits. So let's take a look at her pick on ultimate on 20. Enthrall. Marks a target for her army, forcing them to attack it. If the target dies, ANESSIX brings them back as a demon to fight for her. What the fuck? Dude, okay. So, the entire army attacks a target, and if that dies, you get a free demon. That seems pretty good. What? Her army? I mean, I assume that means you're bored, right? Or does that just mean... Is that just summons? It might just be summons. It says her army. Yeah, maybe it is just her. Because, I mean, that has to be OP if it's the entire board, right? Come on. If it's the entire board? Summon Demonic Golem, calls in an unholy favor and summons a Demonic Golem. But this is the summon, right? This is like when it says the sidekick to do it for you. It's a choice. It's not something you always have. She doesn't have summons unless you pick this over Enthrall. So this has to be your entire board, right? Your board is your army? Yeah, exactly. It has to be. And there might be, we can see some of her talents down here. Okay. So, passive summon? Oh yeah, there's the passive summon. Okay, you guys, hey, look, listen. I told you I just woke up. Middle of a nap. You're right. The passive does have okay. Okay, passive's got a summon. All right. Shush. We're good. You're right. Okay, so she's got some demon buddy on her passive, and demonic golem basically is like you get a second buddy who's kind of big. One summon ain't no army. Yeah. I mean, Enthrall's... I mean, I don't know if it's your entire board or just her summons. We have no idea. This is cool, though. Okay. So, Demonic Puppet Master. I like that. She feels very flavorful. I was kind of surprised. I was kind of worried she would just end up being some, like, mage. You know, but this is cool. She feels a bit more unique. It's very odd that her passive is specific to demons. That's so weird. I mean, it might... The question is, how viable... It generates hype passively with an additional amount for each allied demon on the board. So she generates it over time, with plus, like... I mean, who knows how much extra demons add? It might only be like 10% more. So maybe normal... Presumably, you should assume normal builds will be able to run her just fine. I guess. That would make sense. Like, she can't be specific for demon build. That wouldn't make any sense, because then you would just pick Hobgin for everything else. So, presumably having one demon is fine, which means that each demon should only increase her hype amount by literally like 10% or something. It's got to be small. Maybe 20%. But I think there's kind of like, and it's big enough that if you run a lot of demons, maybe that's worth it. We'll see. Everyone will run her unless Hobgara's numbers are ludicrous. She does seem to have like better skills, and I mean, we'll see. So, okay, let's actually go to the talents. Let's go to the talents. We still need to know whether Enthrall is the entire army or just her summons, because that's going to matter a lot. And yeah, here's her little summons. That's cool. This is just like a little necro creep. Isn't this the ranged necro creep? This little purple-blue thing? Like Hobgin, ANESSIX comes with talents. They can make her beefier, buffier, and cursier. And good stuff. Okay, exploit weaknesses. ANESSIX's companions' attacks break their targets for 3 seconds. So break is a keyword that means it disables passives. And that's something that currently is only in the game on Doom, I believe. I think it was Nyx Assassin who also did apply a break with Vendetta. So that means there's kind of 3 sources of being able to disable passives here. We can see, yeah, break to the enemy, disabling all passive effects. We don't know how long that lasts for. So this is a passive that you can choose break for. So because this is a talent, you can actually choose this a little reactively. Zooming in a bit on the talents. Yeah, I think I do actually have to. It's the... I was looking at that. I was like, am I going to have to zoom in here? Because, like, they seem smaller than, you know, normal. Okay. So the interesting thing is, like, Hobgin... So, okay, the first thing people... Let me be clear. I think that, in general, the idea of counterplay is kind of a meme in this game. I don't really think that counterplay is like a big concept in this game. In theory, it's like, if you get offered pipe on 25, you can be like, oh, there's 3 mages in my game, let's go pipe. That's not really gonna happen. That's not really a thing. It's like when your head's up, you can do that kind of thing. But, in theory, in specific enough lobbies, there will be minor factors that will enable exploit weakness to be a little bit better or a little bit worse. So, companion attacks break the target for 3 seconds. Well, what kind of alliances is this going to be good against? I mean, break disables passives. The companion... do enough companions melee or ranged? Because obviously, you know, against, like, assassins, breaking is pretty powerful. Like, PA and Slark have powerful passives, so that could be pretty neat. You know, you can see some situations against like knights, although it's just Luna in knights that has like a powerful passive. It's hard, like, I mean, again, you can look at this and you can be like, well, it's good against these comps and it's not so good against these comps. And at the end of the day, like, you are going to pick this when it's just kind of the best thing there. And it almost won't matter looking at the, you almost won't really be pressing tab unless there's like 5 people on assassins, which again is kind of silly. I suppose melee, it's the ranged dude. So the companion is the ranged one, and the golem is the melee one, right? Which means the companion attacks break the target for 3 seconds. Now, the way ranged attacks work in this game, so her passive, I assume, will summon next to her, almost, probably like how Arc Warden works. Like, she'll start the fight by summoning it next to her, maybe even using the same positioning algorithm, and then it will attack. And ranged units will attack a random unit in their attack range. This little guy with the bow is probably going to have a range of 4, which means it has the chance of hitting a backline. So, I mean, in theory, if you're against knights, it's got like a 1 in 8 of just like stopping that Luna. That's cute, I guess. Sure, I mean, you could be in a situation where, you know, you're 3-way against like somebody running on knights or somebody on assassins. You could see some sort of counterplay here. Anything else big? It's the archery from Necro. Yeah, exactly. Do alliance bonuses count as passives? Nope. That would be pretty OP. I think they made it so Doom is able to interact with a couple of them. They made Doom turn off the brawny buff, right? So maybe Break turns off that buff too, for example. I mean, Doom is kind of our only reference point, but we don't know if that's just like part of the ability of Doom instead of like what it means to be a break ability. Okay, let's continue down to some of these others. So let's go Pure Pain. Phantom Pain. Your army gains +2 armor per level while an enemy unit is afflicted by Pure Pain. Your army? Is that just... That has to be your team, right? Your army gains +2 armor per level while an enemy is... Yeah, so that's what it means. So why the hell do they call it crew? They developed this nomenclature of like your crew. Are they changing that? They wanted your team to be called a crew, which, to be honest, I mean, I think this is a good change. Crew doesn't sound great to me, but I mean, army is a better sound, and that, you know, I think this can't just be her units, which also means that when it says her army, Enthrall probably means your entire board. Her army isn't her crew? Really? I wonder if 20 talents ever complicates the game for new players. It might. I mean, I don't think you really have... You don't have to know all of them, though. Like, most of them are pretty minor. And also, it's like, you'll see them as you go along. I think it should be definitely fun. Her army is definitely a crew. I think so, right? Okay. So, Phantom Pain. Let's actually... Okay. Your army has to be your crew. There's no possible way... So this can't be balanced otherwise. It's just going to be too weak. Your army gains +2 armor per level while an enemy unit is afflicted by Pure Pain. I mean, it wouldn't just be those 2 summons, right? And I'm sure she might have some talents that will give her like a second companion or something, but I mean, there's no Steam DB. You guys are making claims as if they're factual. I mean, it could be. I would put that at like 15% odds, but I mean, it's not impossible. Okay, anyway, it's got to be tomorrow. Phantom Pain, your entire team gets +2 armor per level while an enemy unit is afflicted by Pure Pain. Per level, we talked about that earlier with Hobgun, with Hot Rod, which is a movie I never really loved, but it's some people really like that one. Very popular on Reddit. So your army gets +2 armor per level when an enemy unit is afflicted by Pure Pain. So per level... We kind of thought that maybe a likely explanation for that was like your Underlord level is separate from the level that you put up. So your Underlord maybe goes to like level 2 on 10, level 3 on 15, level 4 on 20 or something like that. I mean, this looks decent. So Pure Pain, we can actually kind of extrapolate like how long Pure Pain lasts for. Deals pure damage continuously for a short duration. It's got to be pretty short. It's probably 5 seconds at very most, because otherwise Phantom Pain actually sounds kind of OP, because things get really tanky. I don't know what per level means, but it'll probably end up being around 10 armor for everything for that like 5 second period, which is fucking good. I mean, most of these talents seem pretty inconsequential. Most of them seem kind of weak, but Phantom Pain is like, if you're casting, you know, Pure Pain once per fight, then Phantom Pain is like, for 5 seconds a fight, your entire team has chainmails. That's fucking neat. Okay. Also, can we talk about how much of like a QoP vibe we have going on? I know there's a lot of people that like QoP who just, you know, I get it. QoP's cool, you know. You know, on occasion I'll sort of, I'll see the appeal, you know. She's the same race, obviously. Are they? What race is Quap? I thought she was just a demon. Is there like, what's it called? Oh, Mistress of Secrets. What's Quap called? Queen of Pain, Mistress of Secrets. That's cool. Demon is a race? Demon is a race. Not this demon, though. Because these aren't all the same race. That can't be right. Demons aren't all just the same race, chat. Yeah, guys, that's racist. Okay, wait. Real talk. So Phantom Pain looks good. I have a hard time believing. I mean, I still don't know what per level means. Maybe we're just wrong about what per level means. Because Phantom Pain and Hot Rod both look kind of insane. And that's because I'm assuming per level either means your level or like some... like your Underlord. Maybe your Underlord just has its own level rating between like 1 and 3 or something. You can find more Underlords in your shop. Like, because it just, like, Hot Rod and... Now that we have 2 data points...
51 rate is to clap those ANESSIX cheeks.
Okay, no, seriously. Now that we have 2 data points, there's no way we're right about what per level means. I thought initially maybe you can find Hot Rod multiple times, or you can find Phantom Pain multiple times, and it just, like, levels up if you find it a second time. Maybe that works. Per level refers to the level of the unit. See, that wouldn't make any sense because Hobgin's Hot Rod is per level and it just applies to him. And as far as we know, Underlords don't have levels. They must. I mean, if it's your level, both of these are OP, which can't be right. If it's the Underlord's level and they level like every time they get a talent, that's also OP, both of these, and they also can't be right. So both of these just can't be as strong as we think, right? There has to be, like, it must be related to hype, or there's some kind of star system on Underlords that I don't understand. Or maybe it is literally every time you pick this, it can stack and you can get Phantom Pain level 2, which would, of course, make it a lot worse. I'm assuming they level by creep levels. I mean, that's what I thought at first, but when you look at this, then suddenly, I mean, at the end of the game, Hot Rod is giving you, like, 60 attack speed, and we have Phantom Pain that's giving you, like, 12 armor, which per unit, which when you compare those to the power levels of all the other talents, just feels off. That would be so powerful. That's what those are the 2 things that I would have initially thought, but these 2 are just too strong if that's the case, and that's making me reconsider. So who knows? I mean, it's hard to evaluate these, but I mean, if it is one of those mechanics that, I mean, if per level, if they mean a scenario where you can be like level 6 or level 5 even, like, these numbers are just good. Okay, Transfusion, another Pure Pain modifier. ANESSIX and her companion heal for the same amount of damage done by Pure Pain. I mean, she's kind of a backliner, right? As far as we can tell, she's some kind of like caster who probably doesn't want to die early in a fight, I would assume. So healing her often isn't going to help much. Her companion is only her passive companion, and I believe that wouldn't apply to her demonic golem. And her golem is melee, but her companion is ranged. So she's healing her in another ranged unit. Is this just ass? What is this? What's the point? If it meant the golem, it would have said the golem, right? It's just her and her ranged companion, the little buddy. This seems ass. Marta's boon is where it's at. Okay. You mean instant regret? Instant regret. Friendly units affected by Marta's boon break their killer for the rest of the fight. So Marta's boon is the one where provides allies with healing. So friendly units affected by boon break their killer for the rest of the fight. What the hell? Wait. Affected by boon, does that just mean... What the hell does that mean? Does that mean her from taking damage? Does that mean every unit on your board from getting healed? What the hell? What is this? I mean, her heal might not be the full board. It might be some kind of radius like Necro's heal. If it does, if it's anything... I mean, this... if it buffs your entire board, basically, maybe it doesn't heal all. It does seem that, like, this wording is making me think Marta's Boon doesn't heal all. Maybe it's a few, or maybe it's within some small radius, like a 2-cell radius. We have no idea. We're really in the dark on this one. I have no idea how to evaluate this. And the same with, like, I mean, Transfusion looks just bad. But Instant Regret and Phantom Pain, like, we just don't have enough information to go off here. It's kind of weird. What we do know, though, is that these are going to be the 2 Underlords you are going to play with in this patch, period. We've only seen 4 talents from ANESSIX. They might show us 4 more, like they did on, I believe, Twitter, like they did with Hobgin. We need numbers desperately. Yeah, we do. And, of course, this patch is going to be out in, I mean, there's some of you guys who are hoping that it's going to be out tonight. I remember when I was that level of optimistic. But I mean, it could be. Who knows? But yeah, it'll probably be tomorrow, and it'll be pretty sweet. We'll have to, dude. How am I gonna, like? There's gonna be so many patch notes, and how am I gonna balance playing in my patch notes? Timothy, it's your duty to raid Valve HQ. Yeah, I do live like 5 minutes away. Patches out in 2 hours. My dad works at Nintendo. Get the patch notes for us? Yeah. Well, no, that's okay. I mean, guys, we can just be a little bit patient. Hire Purge for squad streams. He reads the patch notes while you play. That works. I mean, I could just kind of play while reading patch notes. The game's kind of like, you know, you don't really need to think while playing, right? That works. 10 hours of patch notes? 10 hours of patch notes sounds pretty pog. So, unless, you know, they decide to reveal... When did they reveal on Twitter? When exactly did they reveal the 4 extra talents for Hobgin? It wasn't like right after the post, right? So, it'll be... I mean, we can't really expect anything to hit in the next few minutes. So, yeah, I guess that's basically it. The one thing left to talk about is we don't know the talents, but we can look at the situations or comps that will enable you to run Hobgin versus ANESSIX. Obviously, ANESSIX is good in like a demon comp. If I had to guess, she seems better than Hobgin, but that's... I mean, there's not a single number here. It's like everything here is words. And the thing about words is like, you know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, a number is worth 1,000 words. 1,000, wait, if a number, 1,000 is a number. And numbers are worth more than words. They haven't given a shit. So I can't say like what's good. I have no idea. But basically, we can at least take a look at their designs and think about like what sorts of comps each will be good in. So obviously, you know, you got ANESSIX, good in demons, duh, whatever that means. Apparently a full demon thing will be some kind of builds. No idea how that's gonna look. Then we've got Hobgin, who's he's good in like slower builds, I guess. But I think they're both fine there. I mean, they do seem a little general. Like, it's hard to say based on the talents and the skills we've seen so far, like, what's good. Marta's Boon as a bit of, like, healing. It's some kind of AoE. Man, they really didn't tell us a lot about ANESSIX. I mean, I'm looking at, like, okay, so, like, who would you run in Knights, right? Because Knights slow things down a decent amount for Hobgin. I think you're more likely to run ANESSIX. Like, a bit of extra heal will do probably more for Knights. Knights, I think new Knights are probably going to run the Healer Alliance, which should empower Marta's Boon. And that EHP will go further. And Knights also have the DPS. They don't really need more DPS. You know, they've got the Luna, they've got the Sven even these days. They've got even CK, sometimes 3 happens, and of course DK. So I do think ANESSIX just looks better for Knights. That feels right to me, you know, and something slower like Warriors, maybe Hobgin could be better. Anything that like plays for heals. It's possible ANESSIX just ends up a stronger unit. I mean, I can definitely say I'll be messing around with both. That's almost all I can. I mean, there's not too much more I can say right now. Like, what else can you say off this?
1/8 gay.
Hobgun is good in slow fights. What about ANESSIX and mages? I mean, she deals pure damage and like summons, and like it doesn't look like there's anything magical happening here. So it does actually look like Hobgun kind of wins in mages. So Hobgun can be in like mages and warriors, stuff that like wants that magic damage or stuff that slows down fights. That could work. Whereas I'm thinking ANESSIX might end up being sort of default if she's better than Hobgun, which we have no idea of knowing, but you know, if she is. What else? Any comps in particular that might favor one or the other? Something like Assassins feels like it's kind of hard to use Hobgun because seems a bit better at fighting slower. He also does have some AoE, which is kind of useful for Assassins sometimes because some people decide to cluster against Assassins. Hobgun can be DPS for tanky teams. Yeah, I agree. She can provide us frontline. Yeah, ANESSIX can provide a frontline for some like Assassins if you go Demonic Golem. I assume Demonic Golem will be actually decent. It'll probably be somewhat tanky. It's a big dude. So something like Assassins could use ANESSIX. That would make a lot of sense. We'll have to see how that works out. What else really is here? I mean, there's the alliances that aren't really used right now, like Primordial and Hunter, that might get buffed and might get used. We have no idea of knowing. Scrappy is also kind of slow down. Hobgun and Scrappy seems like he could be a pretty good choice. Like anything that's slow and might want a bit more sustained DPS. Well, it's not as if Scrappy is necessarily like super slow. Like they do have good offensive abilities. So, I mean, at a certain point, there's only so much speculation we can do. We're definitely going to have to wait for this to drop. And we can talk a little bit about, yeah, I think we kind of covered it. ANESSIX, I mean, I think it's safe to say ANESSIX will probably be better than Knights. Who knows, but it does look like that. Unless, like, Marta's Boon doesn't work with the healer alliances, or Knights just end up not wanting to use healer, possibly. But ANESSIX looks good in Knights, good in Assassins, Hobgun looks good in Mages and Warriors, and then the rest are kind of up in the air. I hope she moans. She's probably going to have some pretty good voice lines, like Queen of Pain, I'm sure. I also assume she's going to be a more popular choice. She's probably going to have a higher play rate independent of her win rate, at least at first, and then, you know. We'll see. Poor Hobgara. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much it. So I guess we're going to have to wait until tomorrow unless the patch just decides to drop within an hour or two. Tweet at devs, beg for notes. Dude, I would have been so happy if they dropped notes tonight. I would have been so happy if they give us notes just 24 hours in advance. That means I can spend a full 24 hours, literally just 24-hour stream looking at notes and not playing a single game. And then I can get into the patch when it's there. But now it's like they're going to drop the patch with the notes, and like, I want to read patch notes for 4 hours, but I mean, I get some kind of idea you guys would want to see me play video games, and which, you know, to me is weird, but I mean, like whatever you're into, dude. I'm not gonna fucking king shame. Okay, but okay, tomorrow, everything changes. All right, and I guess I'll see you guys then.